Let's go to page 360 and start with number 1. So for this one, you're going to use the equations from the oral exercises. So number 1, you have a x3 minus 7x minus 6 equal to 0. So first, we need to go and figure out the possibilities. So this one coefficient is 1, so the factor of 1 would be plus or minus 1. This one, the coefficient is 6. You can ignore the negative because we're going to do plus or minus anyway. Okay. So this one, where the factor would be plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 6. Okay. Then, so the possibility that you should try would be this over this. Okay. So in this case, it would be, so all the possibility you want to try would be plus or minus 1, plus minus 2, right? This 2 over this. This over this will be plus or minus 3. This over this will be plus or minus 6. Okay, so you want to go and make the table of the number that you try. Okay, so this would be the x, and this would be the f of x, okay, or the f of x. Okay, so you want to keep track. Okay, and the easiest one is first, if you let x equal to 0, if x equal to 0, then y will equal to negative 6. So right away you can see that. Okay, and then we're going to try some of these numbers, and we're going to use synthetic division. Okay, so we're going to get 1, 0, right, for the square, minus 7, minus 6, and we're going to divide. So I'm going to use the pen for this, and I'm going to use a pencil so I can erase. Okay. Okay. So first, I'm going to try 1 because that's the easiest number to try. So I'm going to try 1. Okay. So I'm going to keep track of my numbers. So drop the number, multiply. Okay, you add, multiply, you add, multiply, you add. So when you try 1, you get negative 12. So you want to get to the 0. So you know you're going to the wrong direction. You're going the wrong way. Okay? So that means I'm going to try negative 1 instead. Okay? Again, you're going the wrong direction because it's getting, you want to get to the 0. Okay? Okay. Again, the reason I use pencil so I can erase. Okay, I use the pen for this part so I don't have to end up, so I can erase without, see, I can erase without erasing that part. Okay, so make you keep track of all the one you try. So I'm going to try negative 1. So I drop, multiply, add. Multiply, I add. Multiply, I add. So when I try negative 1, I get 0. Okay? So that is my answer right over here. So one of my answer is negative 1. I get 0. So that's good. Okay, so this one is good. Okay. So once I do this, right, then I can lower my coefficient already because now this becomes x squared minus x minus 6 equal to 0. So once I get to the square, I can use factoring or quadratic formula to solve for the other answers. Okay. Okay, so from here I'm going to try factoring, so I get negative 1, negative 6, so I get 2 comma negative 3. So from here I'm going to get x, so this would be the inside, so it would be plus 2, this would be the outside, so it would be minus 3. So from here I'm going to get x equal to negative 2, which is the opposite of that, right? From here I get x equal to 3. So my 3 roots, the 3 answers I get, okay, would be the one from here, so that's negative 1, and negative 2, and a 3. So those are my 3 answers. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, number 3, I have x to the 4 minus 3x to the 3 minus 5x squared plus 13x plus 12 equal to 0. So again, the roots over here would be plus or minus 1. From here, I get plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 6 plus or minus 12. Okay, so when I have this over this, I get the same thing. So these are the one I'm going to try. Okay. So again, the first one you want to try is 0. Okay, so you get a 0. So put all the 0 in here, you're going to get 12. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, so again, I'm going to get my coefficient here. So it'll be 1, negative 3, negative 5, 13, and 12. Okay, so again, I'm using the pen for this part, and I'm going to use my pencil so I can erase without erasing my template. So again, I'm going to try 1 to see which direction I'm going. Okay, so when I try 1, put 1 over here. Okay, so I drop, multiply, I add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, so when I try 1, I get 18, so I'm going the wrong direction. Right? Again, I'm trying to get 0, so I'm getting further away from 0. So that means I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to try negative 1. Okay. Okay, so again, I use a pen, so when I erase, it doesn't erase that part. Okay, so I'm going to try negative 1. So so drop, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay. So when I try this, when I try negative, I get negative 2. Okay. So that means normally there would be an answer between here and, so there should be a 0 between here. So there should be, the x should be somewhere between 0 and negative 1. Okay. But there's nothing over here. Okay. So this one is not going to work. Okay. And if you try other numbers, if you just try any other random numbers, for example, because this one should have 4 answers, right? Okay, so now since there should be a number between 0 and negative 1, okay, since there's nothing over here, that means there are 2 conjugate irrational number between here, okay? So again, so there would be 2 answers between here. There's going to be conjugate, but since you don't have in here, so that means you're going to get some irrational numbers. Okay, so there will be 2 irrational numbers between here. Okay, that is not listed. Okay, so now we need to go and find the other 2 because there are 4 answers, right? Okay, and so you're going to try different numbers, and you're going to find that this one has no rational roots. Okay, because again, nothing is going to. If you try all this, nothing is going to give work. And especially if you try this, you can see that the 0 is between here. That means the answer should be between here, but there is no number on the list. Okay, so again, this one has no rational roots. Okay, let's go and try next one. Okay, number 5, you have 4x to the 4 minus 4x to the 3 plus 5x squared minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. Okay, so the coefficient of it is 4, so the factor of this would be plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4. This one would be plus or minus 1. So this over this would be, this would be plus or minus 1. This over this would be plus or minus 1/2. This over this would be plus minus 1/4. Okay, so these are the 6 numbers that you want to try. So again, here's your x, here's your f of x. Okay. Again, the first number you want to try is when x equal to 0. Okay, because when x equal to 0, you substitute in here, all this is going to give you 0. So this it will give you 1. Okay. So again, when you have the f of x equal to this, and so when x equal to 0, all this will cancel out. So f of x will equal to 1. Okay. Okay, so now you're going to put the coefficient over here. So you're going to have 4, negative 4, 5, negative 4, 1. Okay, okay, so again, I'm going to use a pen to write these, and I'm going to switch to pencil. And again, I'm going to first try 1 because that's easy number to evaluate, so I can see which direction you're supposed to go. Okay, so if you go 1, so you drop the first number, multiply, you add, multiply, you add, multiply, you add, multiply, you add. So when you try 1, you're going to get 2. Okay, so you're going the wrong direction. Again, you want to get to the 0. So you're getting further away from 0. So that means you're going the wrong way. So I'm going to go negative 1 instead. Okay, so when you try negative 1, you drop, multiply, you add, multiply, you add, multiply, you add, multiply, you add. So when you try 1, you're going to negative 1, you're going to get negative 16. Okay. Okay, so in this case, it seems that there should be a number between 1 and negative 16. That means there's a number between 0 and negative 1. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to try negative 1/2 and see how it comes. Because again, there's no guarantee that you will get that. Okay, but those are numbers that we're going to try. Okay, I'm going to try negative 1/2. So you drop, multiply, you get negative 2. You add, multiply, you get 3. You add, multiply, you get negative 4. Okay, when you add, you get negative 8. Okay, and then when you multiply, you get 4, and when you add, you get 5. Okay, so when you try negative 1/2, you get 5. Okay, so it seems that notice the crossing. So there should be a number between. There's a 0 between here and here, right? Because when you go from negative 16 to 5, you will cross over the 0. So the answer should be somewhere between negative 1 and negative 1/2. Okay. But since there's no number between, so from here you're going to get maybe like two imaginary numbers. Okay. Okay, so now we have to look for the other way because again, the graph will go in the cycles, right? So this cycle, you're going to get two imaginary numbers. So we're going to try to look for a different cycle. Okay. Now the next cycle is a little bit more different, more difficult to get. So we just have to try different numbers. Okay. We're going to try. So we tried this already. Again, you want to try close to the 0. So we already tried 1, negative 1, and you got negative 1/2. So let's go and try 1/2. Okay, and see how it goes. Okay, so if you try 1/2, you drop, you multiply, you get 2, and when you add, you get negative 2. When you multiply, you get negative 1. When you add, you get 4. When you multiply, you get 2. When you add, you get negative 2. When you multiply, you get negative 1. And when you add, you get 0. Okay, so when you try negative 1/2, you get 0. So that's good. So you got one answer. Okay. Now, once you get to this part, okay, if you notice the coefficient, So you can continue on from here. So there are a couple of ways you can do from here, okay? So one way is you continue from here. So you're going to get 4, -2, 4, -2. Okay, so don't start all over. Okay, you want to continue. Okay, now since 1/2 it works, right? You want to keep trying because sometimes you get double root. Okay, so you can go and try that, or you can do factoring because when you have the same ratio, you got 4, -2, 4, -2 means this would be factorable by grouping. Okay, so you can do factorable. You can factor by grouping, or you can try the root again. Okay, again, you want to, if a number works, you want to keep trying until it doesn't work anymore. Because sometimes you get double root, you get triple root. So if you try 1/2 again, okay, so you drop, multiply, you add, multiply, you add, multiply, you add. So this one is double because it works again. So this is a double root. Because it works again, so this is a double root. Okay? So you make a note of that. So once you do that, now you're going to get 4x squared plus 4 equal to 0. Okay? So from here you can divide by 4. So you got x squared plus 1 equal to 0. So minus 1 on both sides. Okay, I'm going to go up here. So you're going to get x squared equal to -1. And you take the square root, so x equal to plus or minus square root of -1, so x equal to plus or minus I. Okay, so the answer you're going to get, you're going to get 1/2, okay, as a double root, and then you're going to get plus or minus I. Okay. So again, so you can keep going, or if you can also find the answer by do factoring. So let's say once you get this part over here, okay, then from here you're going to get so you're going to get 4x to the 3, okay, minus 2x squared plus 4x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay. Okay. So again, once you get that, when you see the same ratio coefficient 4, -2, 4, -2, when you have the same pair, then you can do it by grouping. Okay, so you're going to go 4x cubed minus 2x squared plus 4x minus 2 equal to 0. So from here you can factor out the 2x squared. So you're going to get 2x minus 1. Over here you can factor out the 2. So you're going to get 2x minus 1. Okay, and then from here you can go and factor out this part over here. So you get 2x minus 1. And you're going to get 2x squared plus 2 equal to 0. Then from here you can set it equal to 0. So 2x minus 1 equal to 0. 2x squared plus 2 equal to 0. So from here you can go and solve. And you get x equal to 1/2. So this is the second of the double root. Okay? Because from here we got 1/2, right? So from here you get 1/2. And so to solve, you can divide by 2. So you got x squared plus 1 equal to 0, minus 1. So you got x squared equal to -1. So x equal to plus or minus square root of -1. So x equal to plus or minus I. Okay, so from here you're going to get the 1/2. Okay, from here you get 1/2. From here you get another half. So 1/2 again is a double root. Okay, and you're going to get plus or minus I. Okay, so same answer, right? So you can get the same answer. So again, once you see this kind of situation, then it's factorable by grouping, so you can do it by factoring, or you can continue on with your root. Again, if it's something work, you keep trying until it doesn't work anymore, because you have to check for double root. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay, number 7, you have 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 6x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so the factor of the 2 would be plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2. The factor of this would be plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2. So this over this will give you plus or minus 1. This over this will give you plus or minus 1 over 2. Okay. Again, you have to find all the combination. Okay, so this over this would be plus or minus 2. This over this will give you plus or minus 1, which you already have. Okay, so these are the lists. So you got 6 possibility to try. Again, the first number you try is 0, so when x equal to 0, so you substitute into here, so you're going to get -2. Okay? So basically you have a f of x equal to 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 6x minus 2. Okay, that's basically what you're doing. Okay, so instead of equal to 0, you set it equal to f of x. Okay, so now we're going to try different numbers. Okay, so you got, using the division, so you got 2, -5, 6, -2. Okay, so again, I'm going to switch to pencil so that way I can try and I can erase. Okay, if you don't have that, you have to keep writing these. Okay, so again, I'm going to try 1. Okay, I'm going to try 1, see if it works. Again, the reason I try 1 because I don't know which direction it's going to go, and 1 is the easiest to evaluate. Okay, so try 1. So you drop the first number, multiply, you add, multiply, you add, multiply, you add. So when I try 1, I get 1. Okay, so notice that there's a switching of sign. That means that the 0 is somewhere between these. That means the answer should be somewhere between these. And the only number between 0 and 1 is 1/2. So I'm going to try 1/2. Okay. So again, this is like playing the game of high, low. Okay. So this is low, so you have to go up higher. And this is too high, so you have to go down. So it's going to be halfway in between. Okay. So I'm going to try 1/2. So drop, multiply, I add, multiply, add, multiply, add. So it works. Okay. So this is, so 1/2 is your answer. Now once I get to this, now I can go and get my equation. Okay. Again, you want to get to the square equation. So I get 2x squared minus 4x plus 4 equal to 0. And I'm going to divide it by 2 to lower my coefficient. Okay, so dividing by 2, so I get x squared minus 2x plus 2 equal to 0. And this is not factorable, so I'm going to use quadratic formula. So x equal to -b. Okay, again, whatever you substitute, put in parentheses so you can keep track of your negative, positive. So -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So again, a equal to 1, b equal to -2, c equal to 2. Okay. Now you can go and work it out. So x will equal to 2 plus or minus square root of 4 minus 8 over 2. And so x will equal to 2 plus or minus square root of -4 over 2. So x equal to 2 plus or minus. So this would be 2i. Right, 4 comes out, become 2, -1 becomes I over 2. Okay, then I'm going to move up here. So x will equal to divide, so this would cancel out, so it would be 1 plus or minus I. Okay? Okay, so I get one answer from here. Okay, that's 1/2. Okay, and I get these two answers over here. So my answer would be 1/2, 1 plus or minus I. Okay, and there are 3 answers, right? 1, 2, 3. It's a cube equation, so you get 3 answers. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, number 9. You have 2x3 plus 3x squared minus 4x minus 6 equal to 0. Okay, so the factor from here would be plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2. The factor of this would be plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 6. So these are factor of these. So now you have to use this over this. Okay, so your final list would be, this over this would be plus or minus 1. This over this would be plus or minus 1 over 2. Okay, this over this would be plus or minus 2. This over this would be plus or minus 1, which you already have. Then you go to the next one, plus or minus 3. Right, this over this would be plus or minus 3. This over this would be plus or minus 3 over 2. Then this over this would be plus or minus 6. This over this would be plus or minus 3 you already have. Okay, so these are the lists. So only try the numbers on the list. So don't try like plus or minus 4, okay, because it's not going to work. Okay, so again, x f of x. Okay, so again, you always start with 0 because if you put 0 in here, all this will cancel out, right? All this 0 will cancel out, so you get negative 6. Okay, and that way you can use a comparison. Okay, and okay, so let's go and get the coefficient. So I get 2, 3, negative 4, negative 6. Okay, and again, I'm going to start with 1. Okay, because 1 is fairly easy to evaluate. So I'm going to try 1 first. Okay, I always like to start with 1. Okay, so drop, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay. So I get negative 5. Okay. So it seems I'm getting closer. Okay. So the next number, so I'm going to right direction. So I'm going to try 3. Okay, because it's kind of going slow, so I want to go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to try 3, see how it comes out. Okay, so I'm going to try 3. So I drop, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, I add. Okay, so when I try 3, it's really too much. Okay, so I'm going to try halfway in between. I'm going to try 2, okay, and see what I get. Well, actually, I'm going to try 3 over 2 because, see, you want to get a 0. So 0 is closer to this than this. So I want to try a number that's closer to that. So the number close to that would be, I'm going to try 3 over 2 and see what I get. Okay. Because if you try 2, would be exactly halfway in between. So halfway in between would probably give you about 30-ish. Okay. So I'm going to try closer to the 1. Okay. So drop. You multiply, you get 3. You add, you get 6. Multiply, you get 9. And okay, double check. Okay. You add, you get 5. When you multiply, you get 15 over 2. And this will be equal to negative 12 over 2. So I get 3 over 2. Okay. Okay. So looks like it's going to be a number between here and here, but there's no number in between. So what it's saying is that you're going to get, there are 2 irrational. So between here, since you don't get a nice number, so it means between here there will be 2 irrational roots. Okay. So there are 2 irrational roots between. Again, because the reason they have to be 2 because they have to be conjugate. Okay. Whenever you're irrational or imaginary, you're going to get conjugates. So there are 2 answers between here, but they're irrational. So you're not going to get it from here. So that means you have to try something else. Okay. So again, within this cycle, okay, you're going to get 2 irrational roots. So that doesn't help us. So we're going to try to find the answer from the other cycle. Okay. Okay. So to find the other cycle, you just have to try different numbers. Okay. And so since we try a lot of positive numbers, so we're going to try the number from the negative number cycle. Okay, so I'm going to try, since you can always from negative 1 and negative 6, right? I'm going to do halfway in between. I'm going to try negative, okay, let's try a random number. Okay, let's go and start with negative 1, see what we get. So again, a lot of these are just kind of try and error. So make sure you keep track of what you tried. Okay. Okay, so you drop, multiply, you add, multiply, you add, multiply, you add. So when you try negative 1, you get negative 1. Okay. And so from here, when you go negative, you get kind of closer to 0. So from here to here, looks like we're in the correct, maybe in the right direction. So we're going to try. So again, we're going in the right direction. So again, see, when you go from 0 to negative 1, it gets closer to 0. And right now it's really close to 0. So I'm going to try negative 3 over 2, just a little bit more negative. Okay? I think if you try negative 2, you're probably going to overshoot. So you kind of have to look at your data. Okay? You kind of give you a clue. Okay? So I'm going to try negative 3 over 2 to see, because it's already very close to 0, right? Again, your goal is try to get a 0. Okay? So you kind of have to use those clues to kind of help you to see what number to try. Okay, so again, this is already very close to 0 already, so I'm going to just go a little bit more. Okay, so you don't want to try like negative 3 or negative 6. You're going to overshoot. Okay, so try negative 3 over 2. So you drop, multiply, you add, multiply, you add, multiply, you add. Oh, it works. Okay, so there we go. So once we do that, now you're going to get from here, you're going to get 2x squared minus 4 equal to 0, right? So again, x squared, x to the 1, no x, right? Okay, so from here, you're going to get that. Then I'm going to plus 4 on both sides. So I get 2x squared equal to 4. And divide by 2. So x squared equal to 2. Take the square root, so x equal to plus or minus square root of 2. Okay? And that's about 1.4. And that's the two irrational. See, those are two roots that between here. So this is about 1.4. Okay? So you can see that between, so these are answer between 0 and 3 over half, right? This is 1.5. Okay? So 0, so these are two answers between 0 and 1.5. See that? So it's 1.4. Okay, so these are the two answers that between here. Okay, and this reason you don't get that because this is irrational, so you don't see that from the real nice numbers. Okay, so your answer would be, okay, you got this one over here, negative 3 over 2, and you got plus or minus square root of 2. Okay, so again, the list only give you the nice rational numbers. If you have irrational numbers, then it won't show on here. Okay, let's go to the next one. So you got 6x to the 4 plus x to the 3 plus 23x squared plus 4 minus 4 equal to 0. Plus 4x. Okay, so this would be plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 6. Okay, so these are factor of these. Okay, the factor of this would be plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4. So the list that you want to try would be this over this would be plus or minus 1. This over this would be plus or minus 1/2. This over this would be plus or minus 1 over 3. This over this would be plus or minus 1 over 6. Then this one over here, this over this will give you plus or minus 2. This over this would be already half. This over this would be plus or minus 2 over 3. This over this would be plus or minus 1/3. You already have. Then you go to this one. So it would be plus or minus 4. Plus or minus 2, you already have. And you're going to get plus or minus 4 over 3. This one would be plus or minus 4 over 6 is 2/3 you have already. Okay, so these are the lists that you can try. Okay, so again, you want to try 0. So when x equal to 0, you're going to get negative 4. Okay, and I'm going to try 1. Again, I'm going to always start with 1 so I can see if I'm going the right direction or the wrong direction. Okay, okay, so I can get the coefficients in. So I get 6, 1, 23, 4, negative 4. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to try 1. So drop, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, so when I try 1, I get 30. So that means I'm going to try a number somewhere close to that. So again, 0 is much close to that. So you can there are two numbers between 0 and 1. It's 1/2 and 1/3. Okay. Now if you get 1/2, you're going to get somewhere about 15 or maybe 13. So I'm going to try 1/3. Okay, because the 0 is much closer to here, so this number is much closer to 0 than 1/2. So I'm going to try 1/3. So you can look at a number to help you to get a clue of what number to try. Okay, so I'm going to try 1/3. So drop, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, so it works. Okay, so we got one answer right over here. Okay, and now don't start all over. Okay, you want to continue from here. So you're going to get 6, 3, 24, and 12. Okay, so from here, if you notice the ratio, this is twice as much as this. This is twice as much this. So the ratio is 2 to 1, 2 to 1. That means it's factorable. Okay, so I don't want to try all different numbers again. Since it's factorable, I'm going to do the factoring. Okay, so this would be 6x cubed plus 3x squared plus 24x plus 12 equal to 0. Okay, so I'm going to do grouping. And then from here, I'm going to factor out the 3x squared. So I'm going to get 2x plus 1. This one I'm going to factor out the 12. So I get 2x plus 1. Then I'm going to factor out the 2x plus 1. Then I get 3x squared plus 12 equal to 0. Then after that, I'm going to set each part equal to 0 to solve. So I got 2x plus 1 equal to 0. I get 3x squared plus 12 equal to 0. So from here, minus 1 on both sides. So I got 2x equal to negative 1 divided by 2 divided by 2. So I get x equal to negative 1/2. Okay? So here's another answer. So from here, I'm going to minus 12 on both sides. So I get 3x squared equal to negative 12 divided by 3 divided by 3. So x squared equal to negative 4. Take the square root. So x equal to plus or minus square root of negative 4. So x will equal to plus or minus 2i. Okay? Okay, so now I got everything now. So my final answer would be 1/3. Okay, from here. 1/3 from here. And I get negative 1/2 from here. And I get plus or minus 2i from here. So these are my final answer.